you. Great to have you here. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome back into this midlife fertility, vitality, joyous life and pregnancy circle. Wherever you are in the world, I'm really happy that you're here. And if you were here last night, I just got a little chill. I was talking a bit about just what's coming up these days, Mercury retrograde, and many, many, many other things. And but today, if you saw my little short, you know that I really want to get into it is possible. I mean, that's what the channel's about. It's about that reminders of what is possible, what is meant to be, what is your authentic and individual and unique path. And that's why we keep gathering. It's not that I'm going to give you one little formula in one box that you're going to fit in perfectly, that you can just do and it's one and done or 10 and done, whatever it might be. I'm going to continue to give you all the things that matter, that have worked for me, have worked for clients in my circle. And you are going to pick and choose the ones that fit you, that align with your values, your soul. And I just want to remind you of that because, while I do have, my path that I like to work towards, intentionally, the bottom line is you're you. And that's absolutely different than anyone else. And that's how I work. And that's how I want to just give you all the time some little tiny bit of something else new. Sometimes I'll repeat myself because I've had brain injuries and Lyme disease and so many things that I just can't help it. Sorry. but there'll be a little bit of something else that comes through each time. Today, uh, if you're here for the first time, welcome. This is a sacred, safe space without judgment, without giving ideas, talking about. I'll just hit on topics and answer questions. And pregnancy, there's many free tips, but here are tips that I thought were really essential and thought I'd put out. I have a few more videos in the pipeline, as they say, just require some editing, or maybe I'll put some out with less editing. That could be good too, just to get that consistency and connecting in with you again more. I also want to welcome back anybody who's been coming here, whether you're here live now or on the replay. I'm curious, like, what's brought you here today? Is it you're on your way to pregnancy? You're already pregnant? And does it feel like things are possible right now? I would be really curious if you throw that down in the comments. I do answer the questions in the comments because that's my favorite thing, is connecting with you. And so there we go. I also want to say that today we are celebrating 2-year anniversary of putting up my first. Excuse me, just ate quickly. I just ate some sort of vegan cream cheese and olives, very retro sandwich. I am just celebrating that. I have to say to you, honestly, it popped up in my calendar. I don't even remember putting that into my calendar. I must have looked back at videos and seen when I put them up and then threw it in my calendar for the future. And then I saw that and I thought, where did that time go? Now, I remember, in this same vein of it's possible, I will just maybe reshare that first video moment. So, whoa. I want to just remind you that before I started doing this, well, actually 3 years ago, yeah, well, let's go back further. My whole life, talking in front of people has always terrified me. Filming, even worse, because there's something about it capturing forever all the faults and the realities and the oopses and whatnot. And I remember my first video was in high school for a drama for a music video we had to lip sync to. And I did Pat Benatar. Am I dating myself here? People, Pat. We was it Pat Benatar? No, it was another one. Lucky one. What was her name? Oh, doesn't matter. Maybe that'll come back to me next live. I'll talk about what was it. What the heck was her name? Ti amo. Maybe if you remember, throw it in the comments. I can't remember her name. Holy heck. All right. Why did I say that? It's not something I've ever said in my life. Okay. So moving on. Basically, I am terrified of being in front of camera. Ironically, I'm a trainer and a coach, and I've coached and been in front of groups of hundreds of people, uh, been in small groups, in front of people, and I was always shaking in my boots. It didn't look like it from the outside because I've learned to fake it really well, or to harness, that part of me that just wants to help and align and get people, grooving with what makes sense for them inside of their companies and all that. When I did conscious business, and then also with wellness for you and others. Yet there's something that feels so much more comfortable about being back here or out in nature with you in, this sense of just me and the camera and you out there. We get that buffer, which creates a comfort zone. So, but this first video is looking very retro. So, and of course, it's the one that more of you have seen than anything else. Yay. Uh, but I remember I got a ring light and a tripod, and we were at my daughter's star mom's house, that's like godmother type. And I tried to find a good corner. There wasn't that much light, and I was so nervous. And you can see it. But the point was that I wanted to tell you my story. I wanted, not for me that I think that it's so interesting, just the reminder that it's possible, that you can go through trials and tribulations, you can go through days, months, weeks, years. You can have losses, you can have drama in your life, you can think that you've got it all figured out and still, have the bumps and whatnot, and then, have some ahas through connecting in with different things, trying different modalities of therapy and experiences, and just opening up doors of information and understanding of self to and partner if you have one, in to be able to go forward into pregnancy, successful, healthy, beautiful, vital pregnancy and birth. And that was the point. And so I just wanted to reflect on that a little bit today, since that is the theme that came up, is that it's possible. And uh, once in a while my videos are just like rambling on about what's possible, and other times we're going to be, really digging in. I'm wondering if you have any questions right now regarding, where you might be stuck around it's possible or it doesn't feel possible. I want to remind you, as you're thinking about it and possibly putting something into the questions or comments, that you know sometimes you don't even feel like it's possible. I can say that in this 4-year period of transition that we were in, that I definitely fell into that. Like, what in the hell? Heck, hell, whatever. It was just like one thing after another, and was having this acceptance of that. Like, this is how it is now. Blessed and gifted life is just going to be like this now. You actual level, but and hooked in to and feeling like something's out of control, instead of that cliche phrase of the leap of faith. And I finally get it, what leap of faith really means, because it really means that jumping off into something before that there's a safety net. And that's much harder than believing. Now, one of the old videos I had, and I had a meditation to go with it, a separate one, was, believe to conceive. And I did it and I meant it. And in the moment, I always mean things very clearly. And I still believe that when you believe in something, that you can make that happen. Absolutely. Sort of law of attraction. Absolutely. And there are moments where just things are just one thing after another. You can have a life full of so much blessing and still feel piled on. You can have things like, meaning when I was looking to get pregnant, we had a beautiful life, incredible apartment, fantastic job, traveling the world, great friendship circle. There, everything was there. And in the background, there was a piling on of bonus family stuff and uh, possible transition coming up and dynamics inside of the different aspects of the family and then there were the losses so then you kind of pile on inside of yourself versus outside, so life can still be amazing, or you could actually have the piling on of job loss or moving or stress about health, in the crazy environment of the world. There can be so many things that can kind of start to spin out. And so I encourage you to in the moments of just a feeling like you maybe don't even believe yet that it's possible, or you did, and now you're kind of in this place between, it's just moving into how to come into trust in your intuition, your God, universe, source, whatever you believe in. Maybe it's believing in your relationship or remembering when you had a time where you believed so much that things happened, looking back at your successes, the times when things did work, maybe in another area of your life, because many of us, I know me, there's certain areas where it was just like, when it came to um, relationships, there was a stuck place for me, but I could manifest work and experiences like that. I want to go to Australia. Boom, suddenly I'm working with a famous movie star doing wellness, and I could go, like everything would change. Like there was a manifestation that was really close, but there was a block in this other area. So there can always be, you can reflect back or look around at a place where things really go smoothly and key into that energy and remind yourself, no, I may not see that it's possible. I may not feel that it's possible, yet I am able to do these things. What if I just look for that opening where there's something that makes sense for me and it doesn't even logically make sense, but I jump anyway. You know what I mean? Like, whether that somebody pops up in your sphere, a friend of a friend you run into, or pops up on your feed more than once, usually three times, really makes me wake up, two, three times. And I encourage you to just pay attention to those moments. They pop up, let's explore. And maybe there's something there that's going to shake something loose. Hey up, I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly. Fay up Gazette, welcome. Nice to see you. I If you have any questions, and if I'm talking too quickly in English, or I don't know, probably your English is great. Uh, Let me know. I just wanted to encourage you to just find the things that electrify you. And if you don't have something like that, where you find a person that could be your possible support person that shakes something loose or grounds something, allows you to move through your emotions, which is also a really big piece. And we talked about that another week. We'll maybe dive into that in another, maybe in a workshop, because that's a pretty powerful one, very powerful one, is emotions and how they block and release the possibility of pregnancy. But looking at the it's possible, uh, you have to find a way to open a door and a window and many windows just to let the light in, let things see, illuminate things, to let them be lit up and show you what is possible for you. And if you don't have that support person that's showing up, maybe it's something that you used to do that wakes you up, feels good. You get that like zingy feeling in your skin. We talked before about, just even experiences each day that you can have and allow yourself to have, and not just be the grown up like, oh, look, there's a cute puppy going by. That's nice. But part of you would like to stop on your path, turn back, ask if you're allowed to pet the dog, and just pet this amazing creature or pick it up and snuggle it, because it changes something in you. It really changes something in you. So it's that stop and smell the roses. Remind yourself of what is possible. Remind yourself of the beauty that's, you pass by something that someone's made that looks gorgeous, but you don't really have time. You're on your way somewhere. Do your best to create more spaces between meetings so that, for example, if you're on your way somewhere, you have enough space to stop, to look, to grasp that handmade bowl. This is what my sandwich was in. That has the fiery colors that remind you of uh, first chakra growth and possibility and abundance and being supported, or whatever it is that you believe in. Maybe it's just you like the fiery color. Maybe you love red. I'm not even a red person, but I got this because there was something there and I couldn't figure it out. I needed to buy it. I also wanted to support the person. And maybe there's some energy that that person has given to creating this thing that that is something for you. Maybe it's the reminder of, oh, actually, I used to work with clay, or I did it when I was a child, and I would really like to do that again. And, that is such a grounding thing. For example, I remember not making something this beautiful, but of course, this looks like it had a wheel, but uh, a potter's wheel. But having your hands in the clay and the water and that smooth feeling, it's so relaxing. It brings you back to yourself in some ways. It's like working in the dirt in the garden, if you like that, or working with essential oils if you enjoy that, but going back to things that lit you up. And we're moving out of Mercury retrograde right now, yet we're still in that place where going back to things, revisiting all the re's, re um, redoing things, repeating something, whatever your rebuild, reorganize. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. That can be really powerful in this time to, instead of trying to fight against, as I tried this morning with some technology that just was like, nope, it's not happening. This tech is not going to help you today. So use your old school ways of doing things. This can be a time of coming back to things in an old way that was simpler, and reflecting back on how to come back to the things that brought you joy. Maybe you like the feeling of a certain kind of pen across the paper, so if you're journaling, which I highly encourage, uh, you find the pen that feels so good across the paper, and that wakes something up in you. And all of these things bring you back to that it's possible. It's possible to feel joy. It's possible to uh, be inspired. Whatever it is that kind of gets you to that feeling. And yes, it is possible. Do you have any questions? Faye up. I hope I'm saying your name right. You're welcome to ask. If you're speaking another language, I don't have translator. That would be an awesome thing to have on YouTube. But maybe you can Google Translate if you're speaking English or you're feeling shy. That's fine too. Definitely, we'll have people. You can, excuse me, ask your questions on the replay as well, because those comments will be open for you. Well, we are getting towards the end of this live today. I just want to thank you for being here. If there's a little bit more at the end here, but I just want to say thank you for being here. And if if this is interesting for you, definitely give a thumbs up so people can find this as well and find something inside of this. And subscribe if you're new. And if you're returning, then it's just been lovely to have you here. And don't forget that there are free resources down below in the description. There's also a replay from yesterday. There's a link in there, I believe. If there isn't, there will be. And this week, also on the podcast, it's because the first week is very active. The first week is also midlife pregnancy, every first Wednesday of the month. And so I'll put that link also in the description for you when we finish here. All right, then. Well, I wish you a beautifully imperfect day. If you have any questions, oh, Dr. Kavi, hey, it's so great to see you. How are you? Uh, what is feeling? Are things feeling possible these days? I was thinking about you because we talked about community and that I will be starting a community for us, like a more private community. But I wanted to wait till Mercury retrograde is over because everything I'm trying to do with technology is glitching and want to start with a really good experience for you in the community this morning because um, and ants and Native American and a lot of they represent community and they're driving me nuts, but they're making me think about, the chaos and the connection with community. Like I picked up something and all the ants were together underneath. They weren't inside the bread bag, they were under the bread bag. Kind of, and how important it is to kind of come together. They could be anywhere, but they all decided to come together and that there's safety in numbers and knowledge and strength in numbers. So yes. Oh, you're looking forward to be a part of the community. I am so excited. I really, really am excited about it and sort of running in the background on different things and people that I'd like to bring in and all of this. I'm kind of excited. So I will have to put something up. How can I do that? Maybe I'll put it up in, well, those of you who are in my circle on my email list, I will definitely send something out to you. I said I was going to do it before, but this whole tech thing is driving me nuts with Mercury. But I will. I'll send something. Just ask some questions so that you can have a say and let me know what your preferences are and all that, and we can see what we can create together. Because I love when I get to see you face to face, or can really dig in a private way that feels comfortable. This is so public. Anyway, so great to have you here. Thank you for being here, Dr. Kavi, and you being out here wherever you are in the world. I hope that today brings you the inspiration that opens the possibility. Keep your eyes and your heart open and just notice what's around you that gives you that hit, that lights you up, because that's the thing that opens up the door for your beautiful and amazing, healthy pregnancy to start, to continue, to be fulfilled to the end. And it's part of that joyous journey and health that is my ultimate goal for you, whether midlife pregnancy or just being in midlife. So, without further ado, we're at 22. I want to say, have a beautifully imperfect day and life and weekend. And I will see you next week at 10 o'clock as usual in the morning. And it's just the first Fridays are at 9:30. And I'm looking forward to it. Let me know in the comments what came up for you, what you want to share, what you want to ask. I'm here for you. I'm Coach Ariel Anderson, shining the light on your path to joy, health, and maybe that midlife pregnancy. See you. Da 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 da. Goodbye, baby. Have a nice time.